I still remember the scream. It wasn't like a cry from any man or beast I had heard before. It came from deep in the forest, not too far from the river bend where our cattle drink at dusk. That scream split the evening like lightning tears the sky, and then there was silence. Not even the wind dared to move. We found him the next morning. His body was whole, but his shadow was gone. In the days when the forest of Kirinyaga still whispered to those who listened, there lived a hunter named Gitau. He was tall like a magumo tree and proud like a lion in heat. He was not the oldest, nor the strongest, but his eye never missed a mark. When he pulled his bow, even the hyenas held their breath. But Gitau had a hunger. Not for food or love, but for praise. He wanted songs sung about him. He wanted the elders to whisper his name around sacred fires. So he went where no man dared, deep, deep into the belly of the forest, past the cursed fig trees where even the birds did not perch. And that was where it began. Before I tell you what happened, you should know who I am. I am Wanjiru, daughter of Mukoma the storyteller. My ears are old, but my tongue is still sharp. I was just a girl when Gitau left. But I was there. I saw what the elders tried to hide. I heard the things the trees whispered. I carried the truth like a secret god, too bitter to drink, too dangerous to break. Gitau left one morning before dawn. His mother, Nyambura, cried and laid down a goat's hoof at the edge of the village, a Kikuyu warning to spirits not to follow her son. But Gitau laughed and stepped right over it. He entered the forest with his bow, a small sack of roasted maize, and a knife tied to his cuff. The sun followed him at first, but then even it seemed to hesitate. The deeper he walked, the darker it grew, not night dark, but a strange, heavy dimness that clung to the skin. He said he saw things, shapes that moved without sound, eyes that blinked behind trees. But Gitau, being who he was, thought the forest was testing him. He did not know that some tests are meant to be failed. 3 nights passed. On the 4th morning, he returned. But something was wrong. His steps were heavy. His eyes darted like a cornered bushbuck. He muttered to himself, sometimes in Kikuyu, sometimes in tongues not known to men. And worst of all, his shadow no longer matched him. When he walked, it lagged. When he stood still, it danced. We first noticed it during the Ngurero ceremony, a celebration he should never have attended after entering the deep woods without cleansing. The goats grew restless. The firewood cracked without flame. And then someone gasped. "Look," they whispered. Gitau's shadow was wrong. Longer. Slower. Sometimes, it moved before he did. As if it had a mind of its own. That night, he fled screaming into the forest. That was the last we saw of him with 2 feet and 1 soul. I followed him. I was foolish, yes. But curious. I loved stories more than breath. So I took my brother's shuka and followed his tracks. I reached the same bend near the river. I hid behind a termite mound and watched. Gitau was there. Alone. But his shadow stood beside him, not beneath him. It looked like him, but darker, hungrier. It circled him. Gitau cried out, "Leave me." I did not mean to cross. But the shadow did not speak. It pounced. What happened next? I cannot say with full words. Gitau's body crumbled like a sack of dry beans. But the shadow, it melted into the earth and vanished. When I returned to the village, I could no longer cry. The elders found the body, yes. But not the shadow. They buried Gitau in silence. No drums. No goats. Not even a wailing. They planted a magumo tree upside down at the edge of the forest, a sign that the balance between man and spirit had broken. They said he was taken by madness. But I know better. He chased his shadow too far. And it caught him. Even now, people say the forest is cursed. Children do not fetch firewood beyond the river bend. Hunters do not sing while walking under the hanging vines. And sometimes, when the wind is still, a shadow walks the village without a body to hold. I've seen it once. It paused at my door. No face. Just a long dark shape that shimmered against the moonlight. It stayed a while, then moved on. They say the forest watches. I say, it remembers. So if ever you feel your shadow tug away from you as you walk, do not follow. Not all things that live want to be found. I am Wanjiru, daughter of storytellers. I tell you this not to scare you, but to remind you. In the land of the Kikuyu, even shadows have memories.